As owner of the only hotel in town, I do my best to accommodate any hobo who straggles into town, vacancies permitting. I really don't recall. We get so many low-life dregs passing through here, I can't remember every little death that occurs.
Huh. Are there that many?
As I said, sliced open on a mortician's slab, every corpse looks the same. Red and juicy.
But surely you'd remember if these deaths were an unusual occurrence.
You sound like you're launching some sort of investigation, Stephen. That would be most unwise. Young man, we really have nothing to say to each other. I have the feeling your image shall soon adorn my slab, and I'd rather not know the face of the meat I'm slicing. You know, I seem to have misplaced a ledger. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Yes, well, since you've seen fit to return them, I'll overlook your indiscretion this time. But in the future, I won't be so forgiving.
Strange how there's a correlation between the bums who've died and the bums you've put up at your hotel.
I'm not a statistician.
Neither am I, but I can tell you, the odds against that ain't so good.
Hey, you may be right. A curious thing to do, snooping around old ledgers. You're an odd and resourceful young fellow. How little you understand us.
Us.
A slip of the tongue. We are discussing my alleged penchant for murder. Tell me, why would I kill these people only to bury them at a loss?
I'll ask the questions. Or the sheriff will.
Be sure and tell Dwayne hello for me. Then you intend to leverage this nominally engaging coincidence for personal gain? What an immoral thing to do, Stephen.
I'm not the one up to my ass in dead bodies.
Yes, but you have an unreasoning faith in the consistency of the universe. Things can change, young man.
I'll make the threats here or in the sheriff's office.
Be sure and tell Dwayne hello for me. So, Steve, bet you don't remember me. Heard about that short in the old wiring. I'm Fire Marshal Sparky, head of your fire department. Please, it's not the subject, it's the process. Don't be such a party pooper, Steve. We're talking about art. Besides, we haven't had a fire in Harvest since the newspaper building burned down. Though I'll admit that the Wasp Woman's place is one big accident waiting to happen. Isn't that right, Spots? A dreadful affair. You wouldn't think that a brick and steel building with a sprinkler system could go up that quickly. Art enriches the community, Steve. No less than a pulsing fire hose or a fireman beating down a blazing door. So what if we're drawing a nude man? So what if all we ever draw is a nude man, or the same nude man over and over in all sorts of provocative positions? Context, not content. Process, not subject. Don't be so ghosty, it's beneath you.
I don't mind telling you, I'd never get anything done if not for the Lodge's efforts. To join the Order of the Harvest Moon is the highest dream of everyone in Harvest. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. When I was a boy, I wanted to join the lodge. I would have too when I grew up, except neither my teacher nor my clergyman helped me. A man can't realize his dreams without help. My failure to gain admission is the failure of all of Harvest, Steve, and don't you forget it. Boy, whether you know it or not, you want to join the lodge, or you will soon enough, especially with the wedding coming up.
Oh, by George. Oh, by Jiminy. Oh, this here's the real thing. Oh, can I have it? Oh, think it over, okay? You gotta give me it, kiddo. Please. Got me some towels that need folding, something terrible.
Oh, Steve, what are you doing, sneaking up on me like that? God, for a second I thought you were Mr. Johnson. What would you like to order? Well, you're in Edna's diner. That ought to be your first clue.
I thought this was DNA's diner.
Very funny. If certain customers would stop pretending to have amnesia and order some food, maybe I could afford to get that sign fixed. Might even be able to buy enough extra letters to spell Fitzpatrick.
I'm not pretending.
Now, Steve, faking amnesia won't help anything. If you don't want to marry Stephanie, then don't. But don't play sick, for heaven's sake. I'd expect that from Karen, not an 18-year-old.
The names in these two books match exactly. Where did you get them?
One comes from Moynahan's hotel, the other from Moynahan's morgue.
So what?
Do I have to spell it out? Moynahan is a murderer.
Poppycock. Hobos and bums just wander into Harvest. Sometimes they drop dead. It makes sense that such people would eventually occupy both the hotel and the morgue.
Yeah, but all of them?
Nope. Some blow right through and don't stay at either. Now I'm taking these ledgers and returning them to Mr. Moynahan. As for you, you're under arrest for theft, Steve.
Theft? I just brought you evidence of murder.
Evidence or no, you took these from their rightful owner. That don't get you a citation, son. That gets you a night in the clink. This is your first arrest, Steve. You just remember, we've got a 3 strikes, you're out rule here in Harvest. But you keep your nose clean. You hear? Hello there, Steve. Here for lunch?
No, just here looking around, though I'm not entirely sure where here is.
Oh, I forgot. You're playing your little amnesia prank. Well, boy, this is DNA's diner. Isn't that right, Edna?
Don't listen to Sheriff Dwayne. This is Edna's diner. But ever since the E burned out on the sign, they've been giving me a hard time.
Now don't be like that, Edna. It's a great place to eat, which is good. since it's the only place to eat and harvest. I understand you witnessed Miss Whaley's dispensing a little discipline at the school, and she thinks you may be feeling a mite bent about it. You need to forget about it, boy. I don't interfere in school discipline. I leave that to the professionals. And so should you. Heck, there isn't a psychiatrist around who'd disagree about what a calming influence a dent in the head can be. You can't argue with science, Steve. It's bigger than all of us. Well, look at this. Fresh from the safe down at WHAR. I guess you killed McKnight to get this, huh? No big loss. It just means I don't have to split the profits with him anymore. You're probably thinking this is evidence of my negligence. My failure to properly investigate the newspaper fire. Maybe even complicity, since the newspaper and the TV station were rivals. And you figure to blackmail me with this? Steve, when you blackmail someone, you never bring the originals along. If you do, your target can take them away. And then where are you?
I made copies.
I doubt it, or you'd have brought them along. No, Steve. I think I'll just have to take that risk. Okay, let's play it your way for now. You're probably thinking this is evidence of my negligence. My failure to properly investigate the newspaper fire. Maybe even complicity, since the newspaper and the TV station were rivals. Well, I'm glad to hear it. In that case, you'll return my property, right? Steve, when you blackmail someone, you never bring the originals along. If you do, your target can take them away. And then where are you?
I made copies.
I doubt it, or you'd have brought them along. No, Steve. I think I'll just have to take that risk. Brought back the original ownership papers, eh?
Don't get excited. I made copies as insurance. Now, I believe you said something about a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Fair enough. You're a piece of work, Steve. Mind if I ask you a question? Killing McKnight, how did it feel? Did you look into his eyes when he crossed over? I love doing that. I've seen it all. But in the end, it's always you looking into nothing. A nothing you put there. Son, you might ought to think about a career in law enforcement. After you get into the lodge, of course. Now that's a pretty button, sure enough. Where'd you find it?
The site of the old newspaper building. In the ashes. I'm surprised you missed it.
How about that?
As you can see, it's the button of a postal worker.
And we've only got one in Harvest, and he's missing one of his buttons. So what? If you're saying Boyle burned down that building, you've been watching too much TV. That button isn't evidence of anything. He could have dropped it there any time in the past 6 months after the fire. Do me a favor, boy. Leave the detecting to the detectives.
Stay tuned, buckaroos. There's more to come on Range Ryder's Cowboy Roundup. So don't go away. And what's your name, hombre?
Steve?
Steve's a swell name. My dog's name is Steve. Would you like my autograph, Steve? You'd want to talk to Mr. McKnight, buckaroo. I'm just Range Ryder, the cowpoke's cowpoke. You gotta excuse me, youngin'. I gotta ski-daddle to the watering hole and back before the commercial's over. Violence? What about it? What red-blooded American doesn't? Nothing like an exploding head to get the blood pumping. Literally, that is.
Even so, do you think society pays a heavy price for the violence in the media?
Of course they pay a heavy price. Just look at the net profits. They'll line up around the block to see a good slaughter. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air.
Hey, Sport. This is a private office.
Yeah, I know, Mr.
McKnight. I own and operate this station. Have you brought me some news for tonight's broadcast, or...
I've lost my memory. That's news.
The hell it is! You always were a kidder, Steve. Any real news to tell me?
Actually, I was just wanting to know more about the TV station.
Hey, WHAR is the only television station in Harvest. Since the old Sentinel went under, what with the newspaper building burning down and all, we're golden. Nobody competes with us, Sport. Hey now, Sport, that's an irresponsible allegation. I had nothing to do with that fire. Just because WHAR may have benefited from it and I danced on the ashes a little doesn't mean I torched the place. You can ask Sheriff Dwayne if you have any doubts.
You seem awfully touchy on the subject, Sport.
I'm touchy when people try to muscle their way into my business. I'd appreciate it if you'd leave my office and don't come back.
Come to think of it, I don't see any cattle around here. Where do you keep the animals?
Does it matter? The end product is all the customer cares about, Steve. And we only carry the finest meat, only the juiciest cuts. Once you take over the business, you'll realize the importance of maintaining quality while cutting costs. We know what we're doing here, Steve. If we didn't, would the lodge use us to cater their affairs? Listen, Steve, I've never met a group of individuals as upstanding as the Order. You ought to think about joining the lodge. You really should.